Hey guys, welcome back to the COVID channel. This is my new buddy. His name is Marlon Brando. I've had him for about a week, and he's like in a really mood of fighting. He wants to fight and go tear up my apartment. So I'm gonna let him do that. But just say hello, kitty. Marlon Brando is in the house. Okay. So today, I thought, because some of you guys wanted to talk about Johnny Depp, I thought we'd talk about Johnny Depp. Why not? He's in the news. He's getting into trouble. But what do I know about Johnny Depp? Well, I never met him. That's one thing. But we were in LA at the same time. So when I was an actor in LA, he was also there. This is like between 1985 to 1987 to 1990. He wasn't super famous. I mean, we're the same age, by the way. He's 2 months older than I am. A hell of a lot better looking and more talented, but and a lot richer than I am. But Johnny Depp was around Hollywood. He was, of course, somewhat of a star because he was famous from a very popular show at the time. It was called 21 Jump Street, and that filmed up in Vancouver, just above Seattle. And then he came down. He hated working on that film or that TV show because he considered himself more of an artist. He was a guy that drank a lot, partied hard, was in rock bands. His stepfather was a big influence on him, who was also a musician. So, yeah, Depp was kind of a wild boy back in the day, and when he did Edward Scissorhands, and I think that was like in 1990 or 1991. That's what made him kind of more of a star. And then he got to work with all of the great directors of the independent film industry. So he worked with Jim Jarmusch. I'm sure you guys don't know who that is. He worked with Emir Kusturica. So some of you guys might know who that is because I heard there's a couple of people from Serbia in this class. Fantastic, amazing film director. He worked with who? Everybody. Oliver Stone. And then Tim Burton, of course. Tim Burton and him made a bunch of films together. Now, you guys probably know Johnny Depp from his work on the Pirates of the Caribbean series. But prior to that, he had done a bunch of amazing independent films. One of my favorites was Donnie Brasco, where he's an undercover. He's this guy that goes in undercover into the mafia world. Great film. He did another film called Dead Man by Jim Jarmusch, where it's like a western that's all shot in black and white. Nothing happens. It's about this guy that goes from the East Coast to the West Coast and winds up dying there. But a beautiful film, very poetic. Now, Johnny Depp has had a bit of a wild ride for a life. I guess he just got divorced, a couple years ago. And, hey, that's my foot, man. Dude. Meow. So, I guess there was some spousal abuse in there. He drinks a lot. And he takes a lot of drugs. So, I think things can get kind of wild on his side. I remember LA at the time, back in the late 80s. And, it was a bit of a wild world back then. That was the independent rock scene was starting to happen, and Guns N' Roses was coming up. And I'm sure that Depp and I were at many of the same concerts because we liked a lot of the same kind of music. What else? Well, I don't know. I look at him now and I think, this guy, I don't know if he's got anything left in him. He's kind of squeezed everything out of his career, out of his life. Uh, and so I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to see what the next stage is for him. If he does make it into the next stage, he's got a lot of problems right now. So hopefully he gets the alcohol under control and he gets the drugs under control, and he kind of finds a new path, maybe, in his artistic career. Maybe he'll do more music. So, and that's one of my questions. Do any of you know any of his music? I actually don't, and I went on, or I didn't. I went on and listened to some of it because it's on his Wikipedia page. So, if you know his music, what do you think of it? That's question one. Question two is, what is your favorite Johnny Depp film? If you haven't seen anything but the Caribbean films, go check out some of the stuff that he did in the 1990s or early 2000s when he was doing independent stuff. What's Eating Gilbert Grape is a great film. Edward Scissorhands, if you haven't seen that. Dead Man, like I said. Donnie Brasco, Brasco, I think it is, or Darko. I'm not sure. I think it's Johnny Brasco. Go check out some of those movies because those are really good, and he does an amazing job in those. So, do you know his music? If so, what do you think of it? What's your favorite movie of his? And the final question, I guess, is, besides him being super cool, what do you like about the characters that he plays? What do you like about Johnny Depp? What do you think, or what do you think? Maybe not just you, but why do you think what about his character is so attractive to people? What are some good adjectives that you could find to describe his character that makes him attractive and an interesting person to watch on film? All right, so that's it for the COVID channel today. It's a short one, and you got to meet my cat. Then next week we're going to talk a little bit about Serbia. Now I don't know a lot about Serbia, so I'll find some questions. I've been digging around in the history, and besides one of my favorite directors, Kusturica, is absolutely one of my favorite film directors. And then the gypsy band that is in a lot of his movies, and I can't remember the cat's name who leads that band. It's a gypsy band, and they have these great horns, and he plays in Prague all the time, or used to. And one of my favorite films of all time is called Time of the Gypsies. It's a romantic film, beautifully shot, incredible music. If you have some Damacy Uko, I would strongly suggest going out and watching that. It's about two young kids, so it's not over your head in any way. It's just a love story, and full of really cool images. So that's it. I will see you guys next week, and we will talk about those feisty Serbs as they try to move beyond the 1990s and all of the violence and pain that was a part of that area and region in the world. All right. Ciao.